Women, you are unclean 14 days of your monthly period. It's not 7 only. It's 7 days uncleanness for the bleeding period, and then it's 7 days for the purification period, and then day 8 you are clean. So in all 15 days, 14 days of uncleanness, on day 15 you are clean. Let's prove it with the Bible. Holy Bible, let's get it. This is Leviticus chapter 15 verse 19, and the context says of a woman, right? Period of a woman, monthly period. Let's get it. When a woman has a discharge of blood and the blood flows from her body, this uncleanness of her monthly periods shall last for 7 days. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't only have periods for like 2 days, or your period goes for a day. Some of y'all go for 3 days. It don't matter. The Most High gave y'all 7, and he called that the normal bleeding period. So even if you only bleed for 2 days, you're still unclean for the 7 days. Okay? All right, let's carry on. It says, period shall last for 7 days. Anyone who touches her will be unclean until the evening. Any bed she lies on in this state will be unclean. Any seat she sits on will be unclean. Anyone who touches her bed must wash his clothing and wash himself, and will be unclean until the evening. Anyone who touches any seat she sat on must wash his clothing and wash himself, and will be unclean until the evening. If there is anything on the bed or on the chair on which she sat, anyone who touches it will be unclean until the evening. If a man sleeps with her, meaning has sex with the woman on her period, he will be affected by the uncleanness of her monthly periods. He shall be unclean for 7 days. Any bed he lies on will be unclean. Now we're going to talk about overbleed of a woman, right? If a woman has a flow of blood for 7 days, right, or several days, outside the period, or if the period is prolonged during the time this flow lasts, she shall be in the same state of uncleanness as during her monthly periods. Any bed she lies on during the time this flow lasts will be in the same condition as the bed she lies on during her monthly periods. Any seat she sits on will be unclean as it would be during her monthly periods. So it's basically saying if you have an overbleed over the 7 days, even if it's just 1 day, 8 days of bleeding, right? That 7 days no longer exists no more. That day 8, that's now day 1, right? And you have to count 6 more on it and call that your 7 days bleeding period. Then you still have to put 7 more days on it for the purification. So it's 7 plus 7 plus 7, that's 21. So you're unclean for 21 days. Plus on day 22, you're clean. Normal period, it's 7 plus 7 and then 1. So it's 14 days unclean. Day 15, you're clean. That's a normal period. When she is cured of her flow, she will let 7 days pass, and then she will be clean on the 8th day. That's a normal period, right? So 7 days of bleeding, then the next 7 days of purification, and then add 1 to that 7, that's 8. That's day 15, you're clean. Men, stop sleeping with your women in the same bed when they're unclean, man. Stop touching them. Stop eating from them.